Hey everybody, Vic McCarty, My News 26, and yeah, we're in Traverse City, Tart Trail. Well, we're not on the trail, we're at the Tart Trail offices, joined by Brian Beauchamp. Brian, hello.
Hello.
What is your official title?
I'm the Outreach and Program Director with Tart Trails.
Okay, this is a very nice building, by the way, and I don't think I've been in here for quite some time. You've done some nice work over here with the building, and I love the chairs we're in, by the way.
I love them too.
Okay, let's get right to it. Tart Trail, what does the TART stand for?
TART stands for Traverse Area Recreation and Transportation Trails. We've been around since 1998, so we're coming up on our 20th anniversary.
Wow.
And you mentioned our building. We're right downtown in Traverse City off of Front Street.
All right, so why was TART started?
Well, great question. Tart Trails was started because there were a number of different initiatives, different groups of citizens working on different trail developments. So there were 4 different groups. One was working on development of the Leelanau Trail, which is now in place from Traverse City to Sutton's Bay along an old rail bed. There was a group working on the Boardman Lake Trail, which we're excited to be coming upon the completion of 30 years later now. There was a group working on the Tart Trail system, the network in downtown Traverse City and out east into Acme and East Bay townships. And then there was a group working on the Vasa Trail Network, which is 40 kilometers of non-motorized pathway in the state forest. Mm-hmm. So at some point, all those groups came together and said, maybe we ought to put our collective efforts in one place. And that's how Tart Trails was formed.
And I did not know that. I thought Tart Trails was separate from all of that other stuff. And it's funny you should bring up Vasa, because I thought that was an acronym like TART is, but it's not. It's King Vasa, correct?
Yeah, King Vasa. And that originated from a group who were organizing the cross-country ski race, the North American Vasa Ski Race. And that's coming up actually next weekend, February 11th and 12th. So that race will be out on the Vasa pathway.
Before we turn the camera on, you were talking about your growth trajectory because people are very interested in trails.
Well, we are super lucky to be living in a community and a state, quite frankly, where trails are hot right now for good reason. They're an economic driver. They're an outdoor gym 365 days of the year, 24 hours a day. So they promote healthy, active lifestyles, and that's really what we're about. So the reason that we're on this, as you say, growth trajectory is because people more and more are realizing that the benefits from a health standpoint, an economic standpoint, a recreation standpoint, and so we get to work on continuing to build this network out.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Outdoor gym. That's a perfect way to put it. How many miles are we talking about here?
Currently in the network, we have over 60 miles of non-motorized pathway. And when you add the Sleeping Bear Heritage Trail, which we have been working on with partner at the National Lakeshore and Friends of Sleeping Bear, that adds another 27 miles on. And so we're, as I say, continuing to expand, and the next phase of expansion where we're looking at now is heading north and east towards Elk Rapids and Charlevoix.
Yeah, we're talking about Tart Trails and trails in general. Is there a limit on how many miles you can have?
Well, if we close the gap between Traverse City and Charlevoix, which is a big initiative that is being currently undertaken, that's a 46-mile gap that once connected will basically put together over 350 miles of non-motorized pathway in one system in northwest Michigan, northern lower Michigan. Mm-hmm. Is there a limit? I don't know if there's a limit. Right. It really, there's so much that can be done, not even so much on a grand scale of building new trail that connects communities, but things that we can do in town to connect neighborhoods, to connect businesses to walkable, bikeable infrastructure. So that's another, I think that there's a lot of improvement that we could do, and we're nowhere close to achieving, the ultimate vision of our world-class trail system. We've come a long way, but I don't know the sky's the limit.
Is it required to work here that you use the Tart Trail to get to work?
It's not required, but it is encouraged.
Brian Beauchamp, Tart Trails, thank you very much.
Thank you, Vic.
All right, folks, there you go. Tart Trails, they're everywhere, and they're growing. For My News 26 in Traverse City, I'm Vic McCarty.